Welcome back to Breaking Bricks, my friends. I'm your host, Neil. This is our second week into this build. We haven't gotten a lot done, but we did get quite a bit of the wiring in place. That's going to help out a lot later. Of course, if I ignore it and forget about it, that might cause complications where I have to rip something apart and get back into it. But anyway, I've got the gist of it right there. I just can't forget about anything. We just need to go through it, take our time. But we only have so many weeks to complete this kind of stuff. But anyway, we're going to work on infrastructure. We've got a lot of space to fill. I need to know exactly where my support beams are going to be. I'm going to probably put a lot of placing of those within the build. Doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to stay there, because there are other ways to lighten it up. Cross-section, technical beams, things like that. And in time, we're going to get into that. But anyway, we have a lot of work to do. On top of that, I just got a package in that I ordered. It's got a very cool, nifty little toy in it. I am hoping to be able to use the applications within my builds with this thing. It does connect to the power functions, and it's actually pretty badass. You think the smoke machine is cool? Wait till you check these things out. But that will be in a future episode, because I'm not ready to use those yet. But anyway, let's get into this build. Well, my friends, glad to see everybody back. Today, we are going to continue on. We're going to get this track laid down, make sure that this thing is going to go right. We might even try to pull a section off just to make sure that it's going to part right before we move forward, because you don't want to get too far into a build until you know everything is going to work the way you want it to. Once again, we have to start with wiring. We've got our base plates set up the way we want to build on them. I know where my separation points are, and we just got a lot of work to do. We need to get it to about 9 inches tall, and from there the base is going to go on top with a lot of little extra things, fun things. Why not? Because I can. Like I said, this is my Clone Wars Army update for this year, so I'm going to cram as much Clone Wars stuff into this build as I possibly can. And of course, I'm going to narrate as soon as I have something to say, so I'm just going to do this at super speeds. Let's go. Alright, so right now I'm trying to think about getting this track tacked down, but yet I still need it to be flexible, especially in the turns and the connection points. Those I don't tack down in those areas, so only in the middle. This allows the track to move and gives me a chance to break it apart when I need it to. Now I'm setting up my outside perimeter. For I have 9 different sections I'm going to have. It needs to be strong. It needs to move in a car. It needs to be lifted, carried. On top of that, part of the reason why the train is already together on the table is I need to know the spacing. The idea that I have is to hide the track. Time to start putting in supports. This requires filler. Lots and lots of filler. Did I say this part can get monotonous? Now I'm going to burn through my filler brick. Once I get it up so high, then I can figure out what I can use as support beams across rather than under. Now right around this area here, I plan on putting my smoke trap right in the center.
Hours later, I am still putting in filler.
Now as this stuff goes in place, I can start thinking about placement. Where do I want to put what? How will things move around the corner? If I turn on the train, will it wreck inside the build? All these questions run through my mind. Well, my friends, we've taken it as far as we can take it this week. We have actually moved quite well. Still doesn't look like we have a whole lot done, but I did kind of start to focus on this corner because simply just to give an idea of what the heck is going on here. There is just a lot of filler. You know, before I can do anything else, I need to know where the support beams are going to be. Some of that's going to change throughout the process of this. You know, I've got scenes I want to put in here. Other parts of this area, like at the corners, you know, that's going to be capped off. You know, so ultimately you're not going to see any of this color. That's the idea. But we've gotten some wiring done. We've got some hookups in place. Support is starting to go in. And like I've said, I've eaten an enormous amount of block already, but it's still going to eat a lot more. So let's go ahead and take an up-close look at this. All right, as you can see, the wiring's still there, but I don't need to have it pegged down so much because the different columns are going to kind of keep it in place, and that way it's loose enough to have a little bit of movement in there. So you can see that's going to be a disconnection point there because that's the separation point. That's why there's two, because these two sections are one section. We still have this other half to work in, and that is my height stick. It tells me how high it's going to be. It also tells me the outside. Let's bring that back. Here we go. All right. It also tells me here that the spacing for this, like I said, you're not going to be able to see inside this corner. And of course the Star Wars train is there just to kind of give me an idea of how much space that I need to make sure that it's going to pass through without getting jammed up. And of course we still got work to do here in the corner, but I think when we come back we're going to focus here in the center on this smoke trap. So basically what I'm planning here is the smoke's going to come shooting through here, into, this is all going to be blicked off, so the rest of the inside of this is not going to see the smoke. It's just going to fill in here, and it's going to go up and then fill up into this section and this section, so it's going to come out of the top of the table. That's the idea. That's the plan that I've worked out. Hopefully it'll go. We'll do a couple tests as we get it together, but of course, you know, it's always better to get this stuff here in the center done. And also, future plans here is this area here will be a loading and unloading station for this. Time will tell, and in a few breakaway scenes that you'll be able to see. And I'm hoping to light the whole subway up as well. We just have a lot of work to do. Well, my friends, sometimes I wonder, we're just getting started here. Did I bite off more than I can chew? God, I hope not. I just need to keep going, and I hope I have enough brick for this, because I don't want to spend any money more than what I already have. You know, that's the good thing about BrickFest. It allows me to spend a little bit of money towards the next build. And right now I'm kind of just focusing on motors and things like that, because that's what I really wanted to get into for a really long period of time. And we've only been doing that for a short period. I only had a few motors, and we've been doing a few things. If we have time for this, I'm hoping to get some other ideas into this. Maybe a working door, I hope. Time will tell. It's really going to come down to time. So right now we just need to get this together so I can start working on the actual outpost. But until then, we have to continue with this. So my friends, if you like what you saw here today, go ahead and hit that like button. It lets me know I did a good job, and it helps this algorithm suggest this kind of content to anybody who might be into it. Hey man, you got a better idea on how to build up substructure? Go ahead and put that down in the description below. I would love to hear from you. But of course, I'm going to keep doing it this way. But if you want to talk Star Wars, Lego, and anything else, put that down in the comments below. And of course, we cannot grow here as a family unless you hit that subscribe button. It takes you a mere half a second, but for me, it means an awful lot. And I'll see you here next time on Breaking Bricks.